Okay, so, whoops. Let's go here. And let's see what we have here. So we have an E, a G, and a D. Okay. And here we have a B, D, A. Let's just look at this first eighth note first. We might go down to eighth notes here. I think that might be better for us. So these first two, well, this first eighth note. So B, E, G, D. That's odd. So we have, I think we have some kind of seventh chord here. So let's say E, G, B, D, right? That would get us something in the shape of a triad. And what does that get us? E, G, B, D. That gets us a diminished chord, a half diminished chord, right? So let's see here. E, G, B, D. And that B is flat. Oops. Because of our key signature, to B flat. I'm going to put that in there just so that we see it a little more explicitly. So this is B flat. So that gets us a half diminished chord built on 2 because it's built on E. So in the key of D, a diminished 2 chord, not that weird, right? That's about what we expect. It's perfectly in key, even with that B flat is in the key of D minor. So there's nothing out of key here. So that's just fine. That's a 2 half diminished chord. Okay. Let's move on to our next eighth note. When we see that diminished chord, we might start to think, oh, we're getting into some tricky waters here. And you would be right. What's going on? Okay, here we have A, F, A, D. So to put that in a triad, we're going to have a D, F, A. Another 1. This is going to be like a 1, 6, 4 because the A is in the bass. So let's call that a 1. I really should be doing inversions here. 1, 6, 4. Next eighth note. What do we have? G, G, E, B, D. Same thing as right here. E, G, B flat, D. Another half diminished chord. Oops. Okay. Another half diminished 2 chord. So nothing too crazy there. But here's where we start to get some fun stuff. Okay, so G sharp, F, B natural, D. So we have 2 accidentals going here, right? We have the G sharp, so that could be our leading tone, or this B natural. Don't forget that, remember earlier I said that if you see a raised note, it could be our leading tone. If you're in a key that has a flat in it, and then you see a natural, that's a raised note. A natural is a raised note in that case. So this could be leading us to C. This could be leading us to G. Let's figure out what chord it actually is first, kind of that literal definition of the chord. Or we could skip it and go to the next chord and see if it makes sense that way. Let's do the literal chord first. So if I wanted to put this into a triad, let's see if B, D, F, A flat would work. If I respelled that as A flat, B, D, F, A flat works. Otherwise, G, B, D, F works. So G sharp works. Let's try that. That fits the way it's already spelled, so it's maybe slightly more likely. So G sharp, B natural, D, and F. Okay, what does that give us? G G sharp to B is a minor third, B natural to F is a minor third, and D to F is a minor third. That there is a fully diminished chord. Okay, so it doesn't quite make sense where it is yet. So let's call it question mark fully diminished chord, fully diminished 7 chord. Okay, we're going to finish that question mark once we figure out what this is over here. Because if G sharp is our root, which we think it is, then this ought to be an A chord. Or is likely to be an A chord. So let's figure that out first. Whoops. Let's go back over here. Why do I keep jumping backwards? MuseScore. Okay, there's some A's. So D, F, A. Oh, it's a D chord. I have D, F, A. That's a 1 chord, right? And then I have, this is probably the same with this being a non-chord tone. But then here we have 5, I think it's a 5, A, C sharp, E. So another major 5. Okay, let's change this. To quarter notes, so it's more clear. Okay, what do we want to call those now? Let's not deal with this question mark quite yet. Let's go here. This very clearly is a 1. And this very clearly is a major 5. Okay. So what does that make this? If this was G sharp leading to A, we would have called it leading tone 7 of 5. But there's a 1 in between. Is that okay? Well, we have not covered this yet. So I'm going to tell you right now, yes, that's okay. So, whoops. We're going to call that leading tone. Let me get my line up here. Leading tone, diminished 7 of 5. And if we want to be super duper correct here, what we should call it is 5 natural to give it the appearance of being a major 5, but just having capital 5 works. So leading tone 7 of 5, and then we get a 1. It helps that this is a 1-6-4, right? It has 1 in the bass, or it has 5 in the bass, so that makes it very 5-like. It's that 1-6-4 thing that we looked at a long time ago. So it feels very, very 5, and then we have 5. So this leading tone 7 chord is really kind of resolving over to here, right? And we have a little bit of a leap over this 1-6-4, and that's okay. It's not always that the resolution to your secondary dominant or secondary leading tone has to come immediately. Sometimes there's a little cadence to it, and that's okay. All right, so we discovered this chord. Let's hear our pattern. Oops, let's not hear it at an insane tempo. Right, you can feel this chord is leading to here, and there's a little diversion here. You can really kind of feel that. So there we have it. There's some Beethoven. Fun, right? Okay, I'm going to give you this whole Beethoven file if you want to play around with it and have fun with it. Someone took a lot of time to put that into MuseScore. So hooray for them.